Now, this constituency has been regarded as a safe Conservative seat for over 100 years. 1906, I think, was the last time. From 1906 to the present day.
I think there was one guy who moved across the house.
There was that anomaly, wasn't there? There was that, but they were elected originally as Conservatives. And I have a confession that my first vote, when I got the vote at 18, the first vote I cast was Conservative. Mm-hmm. Why? Well, because my mum and dad voted Conservative.
Yeah.
I didn't study the subject.
Yeah.
I just thought, well, it worked for them, so I'll just vote for that. And my parents were quite involved in fundraisers for the party and so on. So I didn't question it much, at the time. I just went along with what they did. I followed their lead. But then in later years, I started to look at it, and I thought, well, hang on, what's the difference really between which colour you vote for? We all see. We always seem to end up with the same thing.
Yeah.
But also, people say, I'm a Conservative. I'm a Conservative. They identify themselves as a Conservative. But what is a Conservative? What is a Conservative? I've asked people this question, and I've showed them things that I've written, and they haven't been able to disagree with anything that I've written about what I think is important. Now, I was at the Warwickshire County Council in 2019 attending a debate there about whether or not I should declare a climate emergency. Okay, now that wasn't my favourite. I would have preferred it to be labelled an environmental emergency, which is more encompassing. The deputy leader, he had some interesting views about the whole thing. I'm not quite sure he was totally on board with the whole thing, but I know he wasn't. But nevertheless, he felt outnumbered, and he did eventually vote for it. But he stood up at one point just to speak his truth, and he said, what I believe in, the important things are to have a roof over your head and food on the table. And I thought, well, I cannot disagree with that. Of course, that's number one importance for us in this country, isn't it? Certainly. Have a roof over our heads and food on the table. But the thing is, how big a roof is it? How much food? How do you go about getting the money to pay for that roof and that food, etc.? Those are areas where we might we might not agree. For example, if your money is made, I don't know, through fossil fuel shares in a fossil fuel company or arms trading or something like that, then that's perhaps not the best way to. That's probably not the cleanest money to be paying for that kind of thing. And also, how do you build the houses? Are they built from sustainable materials? But at the core of it, yes, there are things that we surely, no matter what party you think you align with most closely, there are core things that we surely must all agree upon. That we all need shelter, we all need food, we all need a clean, healthy environment, surely, because we've got pollution. No one can deny, whatever they think about climate change, no one can deny that human activity has polluted the environment. We've got microplastics in our bodies now, which is causing all sorts of medical conditions. It's disrupting normal processes in the body. Air pollution, obviously not good. Water is polluted here in our river. And that's a topic that's been raised by some of the candidates in our election here. The river is polluted, high levels of not only phosphates, which are the sewage-related things, but nitrates, which are to do with agriculture, the agricultural practices.